Hey, it's me. It's animated me. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and it's time for another episode of Completed It. Movie reviews, pop culture, celebrity guests, and all that good stuff. Oh, and my good friend over there, Sasha Alari, is my co-host. Hey, Satch, hit the titles, brother. Hey everybody, welcome back to Completed It. Welcome back to the channel. This is our Fantastic Four First Steps review show. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and as you can see, I'm joined by my two illustrious co-hosts. First, we have up huge Fantastic Four fan. This is the review he was waiting for. I was waiting for Superman. Been there, done that. This guy, Neil, at the bottom of the screen. How are you, sir? This is the one you've been waiting for.
I am fantastic.
I thought that's where we might start. And in the top left, as you can see, he's not slouching. He's actually sat bolt upright. This must be a good show. Sash, how are you, brother?
All good, man. All good.
Boys, we've all seen Fantastic Four First Steps. Let's get into it. I went and saw it on Friday, IMAX. Got to say before we start anything, I can't ever see this film in anything other than IMAX. Visually, this film
Mhm.
was one of the best I think I've ever seen from Marvel. Visually, sound
Yeah.
wise, it was like, holy fuck. This, when we're going to get into it, we all know this is, by the way, if you haven't seen it, turn off now. Come back and watch this review show because there will be some spoilers in here. So if you have not seen the movie, turn off right now and come back when you have. But boys, yeah, visually, seeing this movie in IMAX with Galactus, holy shit. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to get into the movie and I'm going to give my thoughts. But boys, let's just talk visually for this movie. This movie was made for IMAX. Neil, what do you reckon?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it was just, I mean, there was a moment that was a little bit ropey, but other than that one moment, it was a feast for the eyes.
Mm, agreed. Fully
Mhm.
agreed. Sash, the storyline set in the 1960s. Obviously, you've got Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm as the Fantastic Four that do become the Fantastic Five, which we were going to get into with the most powerful mutant on planet Earth. Can I say Earth? Not really Earth.
Mhm.
The most powerful mutant in the universe being born. In Franklin Richards. Those that have read the comics will know and know your history of the Fantastic Four, which I had to quickly swat up in the last 4 weeks, as Neil has kindly got me into the comics, which are sitting to my right. I've done my research on the Fantastic Four. Really love the comics. Actually, absolutely, really am enjoying the comics. Neil, it's only fair that we come to you though first, bro. This
Mhm.
is this is your film. This is your Superman. This is you. This is your guys. This is your film. I'm not. Everyone's thinking I'm going to come on here and completely shit on this movie. I'm more here to experience your viewing of this because I know
Right.
to you and Sasha as well, this
Mhm.
movie means absolutely everything. Talk me through it, brother. What did you like? What did you not like?
I think I liked 99.7% of it. I think this movie was damn near perfect. It was this is everything to me, this is everything an introductory film should be.
Okay.
When you're introducing a character, when you're introducing characters, this is what it's supposed to be. This is like phase one or phase three levels of like we're introducing a character.
Mm.
You're gonna care about this character.
Yeah,
That
because it's been a few years since the
yeah.
Fantastic Four films come out, and this
Mhm.
has attracted a whole new audience, shall we say. I mean, we've
Mhm.
probably, especially you and Sash, you know about the Fantastic Four, but this really, I mean, I had in the IMAX that I went to, there was kids that must have been 9, 10 years old. So I'm guessing this was their, or maybe a bit, I don't know how old you had to be. Probably the
Mhm.
kids sitting down for me were like 12 years old, and they
Mhm.
were dressed in their Fantastic Four stuff. And yeah, so you are right. This was really an introductory movie because it has been so long since we've seen Fantastic Four
Yep.
on the big screens, and this was a reboot's probably the wrong word. Introductory is probably yeah, probably the correct term,
Mhm.
mate. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it was the thing is, I have to say it. This movie this is the first time I have seen a movie pay absolute homage to its to one of its creators.
Mm.
Like every up until he passed away, almost every Marvel film, not even MCU, but almost every Marvel film had a Stan Lee cameo, and then we got one more cameo after he passed away, but really and truly it was like we had all the cameos, and it was like it's always Stan Lee is the guy who is always like front and center. He was the face of Marvel, right? But in all honesty, unless you are a comic book fan, it is very difficult to understand that most comic book characters are a creation of a writer and an artist. And, we live in a world where now, yes, like there are some characters who are the complete creation of one person. Like Hellboy is a creation of one person, but it's very rare that we're ever given a real like homage to a particular person. And Jack Kirby is the person that this film pays homage to. And whew, I mean, like I haven't had such an emotional reaction to seeing something since either
Superman.
no, no, since either Endgame
Ooh,
or I want to say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Because Into
wow.
the Spider-Verse had a little moment at the end just for Stan Lee,
Hmm.
where it had the glasses and it had his
Yeah.
message. And then this movie, just the way it pays homage, there are moments in this film where there's a specific moment in this film where you see, I think it's Johnny's flying through the sky, and then you see it cuts into like a window, and you see in the window, and it cuts to the other side of the window, and you see it's like an artist studio, and you see there's two guys in the room. And one of those guys is designed to look exactly like Jack Kirby. And
Hmm.
then you'll see on the wall it says Timely Comics, and most people don't know Timely Comics is what Marvel Comics was before
Hmm.
it was Marvel. Captain America is a Timely Comics creation.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, seeing that, I mean, look, we were about 30 seconds into this movie where I was like, this is my
I knew you.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
this is made for me. This was made with me in mind. And then clip after clip, shot after shot, and I was like, you just decided that you were just gonna be like, I want you here for life. Right? And I'm like, okay, Marvel, you got me. I'm here for life. Right? I'm here
Mm.
for life. You did what you needed to do to secure my permanent residence. And that's what this film did. And it's like, due to our ages, we'll remember something like the Jetsons.
Oh, what a theme tune, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you think of the Jetsons, this was like Marvel saying, what if the Jetsons was you know, in the 1960s? This is Jetsons in the 1960s crossed with the Incredibles, but the fact is something that predates both.
Mm.
And it was just ah, I have virtually nothing. There's only one thing that I can speak negatively about the film, and we'll get to it later.
Okay. Okay. Just before I get Sash, before I get your views,
Hmm.
Neil, they introduced Franklin Richards. Soon as you
Yes, I
found
did.
out that Sue Storm was pregnant,
Hmm.
I was sitting in the cinema and my first thoughts went to you because I had visions of your mind. I was
Hmm.
sitting there, I thought, he's gonna fucking love this. And even I knew in the limited knowledge that I've had of the Fantastic Four, but you can't,
Hmm.
thanks to you over the lot, I thought, as soon as it opens up and she's sitting in the bathroom and Reed's looking for something, he can't find it, and Sue Storm,
Yellow iodine.
yeah, that's it, and she's sitting there with the pregnancy test. Soon as I saw that, I'm thinking, Franklin, they're introducing the most powerful mutant ever known to man,
Mhm.
really. What did you think of them getting into that straight away? Was it a surprise for you that they'd done it? Because there was no real teasers that this was going to happen.
Un
No news really.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a surprise
Okay,
because being an avid fan,
you can't
I
believe.
had seen two things that had given clear indication that Franklin was going to be born.
Hmm.
The first was one of the trailers. One of the trailers, it doesn't. I can't remember if it if it talks about like her and Reed having conversations about her being pregnant, but there's a moment in the trailer where she's walking and she's clearly cradling a child. So
Mm-hmm.
like,
You kind
okay,
of got it.
Franklin is going to be born. Prior to that, um, you have things like Sideshow collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is another one that's not Sideshow, and they like you can buy their like statues and stuff through Zavi.
Mm-hmm.
And weeks, I mean, like a good almost a month before the film dropped, I saw uh, an advertisement. And I got an email of an advertisement, and it's like Fantastic Four. And I clicked on it, thinking, "Oh, let me see like
Yeah.
the
What am
four
I spending
statues
my
that they
money on
have."
now?
And then I was like, I saw Reed, and I saw Johnny, and I saw Ben, and I was like, these look good. These look good. And I saw Sue, and what I saw of Sue was her and a baby, and I was
Mm,
like, oh man. I
yeah.
was, I would
Gave it
have
away.
loved to have just seen it in the film,
Mm,
but
yeah.
yeah, these things happen.
They do. They do.
Mhm.
Sash, let's get on to you, bro. We'll get back to what Neil didn't like, and then do you know what? I'm not going to chime in too much on this because I don't want to shit on your guys' parades because I know how much this movie means to you. So I have my own views, but I'm purely coming from not a new to this kind of franchise. I know the Fantastic
Mhm.
Four, it's part of Marvel, but I don't want to feel bad for you guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
We can get into this at a later date. I know how much this movie means to you two as well,
Mhm.
and I know we talked about Silver Surfer and Shalabar and etc. etc. And I think Sash, that's where we can start with you, bro. You mentioned last week when we were all recording together, you were like, if Silver Surfer isn't Shalabar, I'm getting up and I'm walking out. What did you think when you saw the movie, bro? The Silver Surfer was such a huge part of this movie. We kind of all knew what it was going to do. It kind of followed the original movies with the Silver Surfer storyline a little bit, where sacrificing herself, etc., etc. What did you make of what you saw when you went and saw the Fantastic Four, my friend?
Thankfully, I was like, phew, they got a good one. They got a good one here. This is like back to classic Marvel, them making the films back on form for me. This is up there with the original 23 films that they did, Iron Man to Endgame. Love it. Love it. I mean, there's been a few good ones, in phase four, just a few, handful, not that many, but this was a good film. This was a win they've needed in like forever, in my opinion.
Mm,
Um, yeah, as someone that's into Marvel, yeah, loved it. Loved that they went with Shallow Ball. Well, it was the only way they were going with you. If you're going to introduce the female Silver Surfer, that's the only way. If you're telling me that was Lauren Rad, I'm sorry.
you
Like,
are.
it's a different reality, different
Mm,
universe to the MCU. You kind of gave it away there because it was the only way it was going to go down.
mm.
The other thing, the other thing was I did get a sense that Franklin would be in it, mainly because of the title and
First
all the
steps.
baby. And
Yeah.
if you look at even in the teaser poster, they've got like alphabet, the child alphabet
Hmm.
toy and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, what's that about? I mean, bit odd for Reed Richards to be having that. You know what I mean? If it is a reboot, is this a Fantastic Five? Maybe, and it was, or six if you count Herbie, which I loved his first on-screen appearance. But I
Mhm.
love what I really liked about it was unapologetically the original run of comics, you know, even when they were doing the documentary bit about how they got their powers and stuff and had when they went through each villain and stuff, there were bit
Yep.
where it looked like it was straight from the comic book cover with the mud guy. I've forgotten what he's called now,
What?
but
Oh, the green
no,
or mole
where
man.
was it? No, that wasn't
No,
Mole Man. The
no.
big
So what
mud
it is,
thing.
the
Yeah,
cover, what it is a giant green monster. That
yeah,
giant
yeah. That's
green
the one.
monster,
Yeah.
it's just the cover.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So obviously, like I remember the cover and stuff and
Hmm.
all of that stuff, and then you had like the monkeys and stuff because Red Ghost and shit like that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is sick, man. This is good.
Mm.
Shame, um, shame John Malkovich didn't make the cut, but
Mm.
it is what it is. The movie was fine anyway. Um, my only, I'll get to that later and what I didn't like, but but there's very few. There's very few things to dislike. When I saw Galactus for the first time, that was
That was fucking
jaw-droppingly
incredible, by the way.
amazing. And he was just sat down. That wasn't even him standing up. He was just sat down, just like, you know, speak, you know,
Mm.
just,
When
just,
he spoke, and
uh,
obviously we all saw it in IMAX, you
yeah,
were like, holy, you're like this,
yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
holy shit.
And you know, you know, really was an awe to behold, really, rather than a fart in a wind cloud that we got at End of
Mhm.
Silver Surfer. But you
They
know
mentioned it as well, didn't they? They said when Galactus done his speech at the start when they went to visit him on the planet, he went, "What did you expect me to be, a cloud?" And even I had
yeah,
a little chuckle
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, I like it. I like a little
yeah,
sly dig there
yeah, yeah.
at previous films. But no, look, for me, like you say, look, for me, I'm not gonna. I don't want to shit on this movie because you know, I don't know a tremendous lot about the Fantastic Four. For me, visually, like I said at the start, incredible. Probably one of the best visual movies I've seen in recent times.
Mm.
It blew my mind just visually sitting there in IMAX, and I was just thinking, like you say, when the bit with the Galactus, when they go to the planet and they confront him and they say, "Look, we're going to go and chat to him." I'm like, you don't chat to Galactus, but okay. They visually, I just thought that was incredible. My only gripes were that it was just there wasn't much action. And
Mhm.
that's the only thing. I mean, I gave it when we are in our group chat. I jested that I gave it 4 out of 10. I didn't. I'll probably give it 6 or 7.
Mhm.
Um, just for me, it was they went to chat to Galactus. That didn't work out. They got back to Earth. Galactus then comes to Earth, and they kind of defeated him too easily for me. For me, Galactus is this fucking all-being, like absolutely terrifying villain. The only thing I would have liked to have seen was it to maybe go on a little bit longer. I thought that that looked a little bit rushed, in my opinion. I thought that like he turns up in New York, he smells a flower, he walks to you know they have to get him so they can get him back into this other dimension, and it just seemed a little bit rushed for me. For me, Galactus should be fucking Galactus. That should be one monumental battle. But in saying that, what they did with Sue Storm was really good because then they could introduce Franklin's powers.
Mhm.
And if you know anything about the comics, and believe me, I have been reading up about it. This kid, it's going to become an adult, can open alternate realities. He can open dimensions. He's going to be the most powerful
Create 'em.
fucking create dimensions. We're going to get into that in a little bit, like where it could go now with the
Mhm.
Marvel franchise. Now they have introduced him because who knows what could happen. Yeah, just for me, look, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really did enjoy it. Not as much as I enjoyed Superman, but that's just me. I
Mhm.
know the WhatsApp group are going to come for me when they're watching this. But no, look, it was a good movie. I don't. Neil, could they have?
Yeah,
Was the ending? You said you give it 9.7 out of
9.5.
10, 9.5. For me, I'd just like to have seen more Galactus. I thought it
Yeah.
was all about him coming to Earth, and when he got
Mhm.
there, they defeated him a little bit too quickly for me.
I think I think I hear what you're saying, but I think in my personal opinion, you're looking at it from the wrong angle because you're using one word. You're saying defeated.
Or sent him
They
to a.
didn't defeat
No,
him.
yeah, they sent him to
They by the grace of luck and a mother's love, they managed to push him
into another.
through another
Yeah,
dimension. They didn't
yeah.
beat him.
But they said he wouldn't be seen for thousands of years.
Well, that's the thing, is what I'm thinking about is they pushed him into another dimension,
Yeah.
Mm.
right?
And Franklin can
There's
open
no
that.
guarantee that the events of the next 2 to 3 films
We don't see
do
him
not
again.
make that dimension
Mm.
wind up being
The MCU.
world
Yeah.
or the new 626
Mm.
or 616, sorry, right? It's there's no there's it's the one of the problem it's one of the problems and one of the beautiful solutions of having multiple dimensions is if you push someone into another dimension, you essentially give yourself an out because you put them in a position where they can just turn up at another date and time.
Yeah.
And also it it puts you in a position now where because that's how they beat Galactus, it puts them in a position now where that trick doesn't work again.
Mm.
So it means the next time we see Galactus, because we will definitely see him again, the next time we do see Galactus, now it's, well, we pushed him into another dimension. That's not going to work. Now you're going to have to fight him and try and defeat him. And we that ain't gonna be light work. It's gonna take a little bit more than four.
Yeah.
I just don't think I wanted to see more of the Fantastic Four use their abilities and use. For me, I just didn't see enough. It was a good storytelling.
Yep.
And I get why they've done it. Maybe this was me just being naive, and I just wanted to see fucking loads of action. Maybe, like we've said on a few movies, what was it? What did we do a couple of weeks ago when we said they had to do this to get to this, this, and this? Can't remember what we were talking about a movie where we said like this is probably why they've done this movie, because in a couple of years' time they're gonna show us why they've done it. Maybe with the Fantastic Four is this was not a setup movie because it was far too good to be a setup movie, like you said.
I don't know. It could be a setup movie.
No,
It could be.
introductory
Yeah.
movie. I
Yeah,
think
it was
the
an
right
introduction.
word.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I wanted to see more of Reed. I wanted to see more of Johnny. I wanted to see more of them all. Really, the end. We'll say fight scene because that's what everyone always says.
The climax.
I just wanted to see more. I don't know.
Mhm.
It just left me thinking, oh fuck, I didn't see much. There was a lot of talking. There was a lot of setup, and then it was kind of me. I blinked, and it was good, and I'm like, oh, it's over. But then now looking back at it, I've sat here a few days later,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go and see it again probably this week. I'm being a snob. I'm paying the £5 on my Limitless. I can only see this in IMAX. I'm not seeing it on the little screen. I'm going again probably. I might see two films Wednesday, so I might do Superman and then that. I'll see it again. But yeah, I don't know. I preferred Superman, maybe, but I'm a DC nerd.
Yeah.
I love my DC, but I do love Marvel. Captain America's my guy. But yeah, I just felt it was missing something for me.
Well, I think the issue that we have, or the issue that the film has, if we're gonna like, I'll take my biases and my love of it away and just like think, kind of just think without emotion. I think we've been so spoiled because for almost 30 films, it's just been action, 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 right? But we have to remember this film is set in the 1960s, right? The action where we kind of expect, where it's like, okay, how to do this and how to do that. And, we expect our heroes to be like, basically two steps away from being, the UFC champion when it comes to hand combat and like half a step away from being Duke Nukem if they use weapons. And I think we have to put into context that, you know what? Fighting wasn't what it is now in the 60s. And also the 60s aesthetic wouldn't really benefit from having as much action as we are used to in a normal standard MCU film.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get it. Boys, let's get to the end credit scene.
Yes.
Franklin had grown up, looked about
4
4
or 5, because it said 4 years had passed. It said 4 years had passed.
Sue Storm just goes to get him a book that he wants to enjoy reading, and the camera pans round, and this is the holy shit moment. Who is sitting there but Doomsday himself? Dr. Doom was sitting right there. Probably not Robert Downey Jr. by all intents and purposes. No. He would have probably wanted 6 million for that.
No, to be honest, it probably was Robert Downey Jr.
Could be Robert Downey Jr. But yeah, you don't see any fact. All you see is the Doomsday mask looking at the kid, and that's where the film ends. Neil, what did you think when you saw that? And then it cuts to the Fantastic Four will return in Doomsday, the classic Marvel. I love it when they do that. What did you think when you saw that?
Perfect ending. Perfect ending, because I get it. Everybody wanted to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face, and for years we've all had our ideas of how would you introduce Doom and what post-credit scene and what do you do. But I think also because the film did not end the way most people expected it to end, especially after seeing Thunderbolts, I think it was necessary that you have some restraint. The entire movie was restrained. It was, we're making a movie, we're introducing you to these characters, and we're introducing them in such a way that you are endeared to them, and they will be, you're gonna feel for these characters the next time you see them.
Mm.
Right? This isn't just we're just throwing them at the wall, introducing them, and as long as they've got the great big action set piece, then you're fine. This is like, no, these are characters we want you to care about, right? And I think by ending it, I mean, look, this movie was in production when we knew about Doom, when we knew Doomsday was coming, when we knew Doctor Doom was coming, Victor Von Doom, we knew he was coming, right?
But he's synonymous with the Fantastic Four movies. If you've watched
Yeah,
the
he is. He is
Yep.
synonymous. He is their chief number one villain.
Mm.
However, as synonymous as he is with the Fantastic Four, it's sort of like everyone was just waiting. I think there were a number of people who literally went to watch the film and they were just waiting to see
The
Doom.
end credits. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the restraint they had, we already know who's playing the role. You don't need to see it. If we had no idea who was playing Doctor Doom, then I can be like, oh my God, you've shown his face and that's who it is. Then all the speculation, everything would kick in.
Mm-hmm.
But you already know who's playing Doom. You already know when that film is coming out. So it's like, you don't need to see him yet. You know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
Mhm.
that they kind of released the Downey reveal a bit too prematurely? Do you feel that they should have just said Doom's in it and we've casted Doom and you will find out who that is at a later date?
I think I would love for them to have done that.
Yeah, me
And just
too.
never told you that it was Robert Downey Jr. and they just said it'll be Doom. We've cast Doom. Doom will be here.
Yeah,
However, I don't think Thunderbolts and I don't think even the Fantastic Four would have had the immediate fanfare that they've had.
yeah.
You didn't know
They needed a
Downey
hook.
Jr. was doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
needed to
they
hook you in.
needed a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that hook, because that hook it carries its weight, weight in gold. It carries its weight because in knowing that it's Robert Downey Jr., I think all of us have done it. We've been in the group chats, in podcasts, when we've met up for food or drinks or whatever. We've all had these conversations where we're like, okay, is it a clone? Is it an alternate version of Tony Stark? Is it, oh, did the Scarlet Witch do something? No, did Iron Man do something? Oh, when he snapped his fingers, we've all guessed and guessed and over guessed and uh, we will speculate at what could possibly be the reason Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. And all we actually did was keep Marvel on the tips of our tongue until until we see him on screen in a movie, and that little tiny little shimmer of you saw the green cloak, you saw the metal, you saw him holding the mask, and you saw Franklin.
Mm.
That's all that's necessary.
Yeah, left it perfect for next
Yeah.
year. Well, Spider-Man's first, right? And then
Yeah, Spider-Man, Doomsday, and then
Secret War.
there's still a possibility that there's another film that comes out between Doomsday and Secret Wars,
Mm.
but I
I think
think
I think it's the Black Panther spin-off between that.
no, the Black Panther that comes out
Is that soon?
Friday.
Is
No.
it this Friday? Fuck.
Yeah, Eyes of Wakanda is Friday.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So I think, but I mean, but the thing is, I think Marvel have reached a point now where they've already done so much that they're probably looking for the next best way to do stuff. And I think
Yeah.
announcing Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom,
Mm.
that's one way of doing things. And I think another way of doing things is just being like, we've got these slates, and then they'll tell you, oh, you know what? It was supposed to be Doomsday, then Spider-Man 4, then Secret Wars. Now we've pushed the dates back. And our assumption is there's something wrong with the movie. That's why they've changed the dates. Not they've changed the dates because there's something else that they want to put in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and Spider-Man is a better fit somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because none of us have access to the script. We know what we think is supposed to happen. We assume what's going to happen. When it was in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, we assumed it was going to be on Battleworld and it would have all the live action Spider-Man in it.
Mm.
Yeah, there's
But
been a lot of that going on.
yeah, there's a lot of that. But
Yeah,
the thing is, what if it's just a standard film? What if it's just a standard film that takes place that carries on everything that's taken place in Daredevil, Born Again,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and then the end of it is one of them or two of them or everybody involved gets sucked through into Battleworld.
Or what if it's
Mm.
not just
Yeah,
one Spider-Man movie?
yeah, it could be two.
It could
Exactly.
be two.
It could be
Maybe that's the big surprise. Maybe
it
there are
could because
two.
it's brand new day. It could
Yeah,
be brand new day, and then
Brand new
leads
world, brand new
into
one more
universe,
day or
brand new
two,
everything.
or
Yeah,
whatever the new day is, or whatever the
could
new
be.
yeah,
thing
yeah,
they want to say is after that, right?
Mm,
There's so much that could take place
yeah.
that we are guessing and second guessing and speculating on what it could be. And sometimes,
There's so much misinformation as well
yeah,
by other YouTubers and other. There are a lot of grifters online,
yeah,
trying to make their own content
no.
and stuff,
And to
and
be honest, there's even
that's what the internet has become now. Whereas
yeah,
before, we used to get our news from proper, we're just as bad
respectable
as them.
sources.
All right,
Yeah,
we're
we
just as
are
bad
just
as
as
them.
bad.
We can be.
Well, no, we're not as bad as them because we speculate.
yeah,
We
we don't
and we
make shit
admit,
up.
Yeah,
we open our
Yeah,
mouths and we admit this is a
yeah,
speculation.
we're just like
yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
like being
true.
in a pub, just having a
Right?
chat. Like we're just having a
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we're film fans, and these people that make shit up want to make shit up for clicks, likes, and to make
yeah.
money.
Exactly.
We are
So,
film fans; they are just money grabbing bastards.
well, this is
Yeah.
why. But this is why I was telling you, Andy.
Mhm.
Whenever you get these things, you look at the source, and if the
Mhm.
source is the Hollywood Reporter, Variety,
Mhm.
then it's
Mm.
100%. There are other ones that I'd say are a bit more reputable as well,
Mhm.
but you got to understand there's a lot of scoopers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm.
And not everything comes true. I tell you what, that Jonathan Rickman or Daniel, whatever, you always find these two guys, and it's PKRR or whatever.
Mhm.
That it's like okay, well, Doomsday is coming,
Mhm.
and when it comes, we're gonna find out exactly which one of your scoops will
Yeah.
call.
Mhm.
You
Marvel
know what I
aren't
mean?
stupid. They're gonna have some things
Yeah.
up their sleeve that are gonna blow our mind because, like Neil said earlier,
Yeah,
this is gonna be the start of something completely fresh soon, completely
Mhm.
new. We're going off into new worlds, new dimensions. Who the fuck knows who's gonna turn up, where they're gonna turn up, why they're gonna
yeah,
turn up? You know, they introduced Franklin for a reason. This kid can open up fucking dimensions, universe. He can create all
Mhm.
this. Anything can happen now that they've introduced him into the MCU.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good thing because there's only I think we mentioned a couple of months ago. It will never end the MCU, but you kind of now have to loop it into something really completely new. You
Mhm.
can't keep relying on what has gone on and living on your past and what you've done. You now need to open up a
Yeah.
whole new universe, and with this,
The the easiest way that I could kind of summarize it from what you're saying, and because I do agree with you, is
oh, note the time and the date: 1950, 28 for the 7th. Neil will go
yeah.
with me. Okay.
The MCU from Iron Man to till present,
hmm
that's Star Trek. We're then going to go into Star Trek The Next Generation. And then we'll possibly move into Star Trek Deep Space Nine or Voyager or
Thank
Enterprise or
God, because
whatever,
the
right?
original Star
It's
Trek was terrible.
it's no,
Oh,
but what I mean is that
hot
it's
take. It's a
that
preview.
simple thing there of we've already established this world,
hmm
but you need to move that
Move.
world forward
Yeah.
because the more you stick with it, eventually it will become stale.
Well, that's what I liked in the Fantastic Four movie when the original plan was to move Earth.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this could be fucking incredible. Where they're going, what they're doing. It didn't work, but the fact that they could and probably still will, maybe in the future, move a
Yeah,
whole
because
fucking
that's
planet.
that's that's exactly what I'm saying. Is this film was an introduction, not just to these characters, but it was an introduction to ideas. The
Mm,
idea of transporting one world from here to here.
mm,
Secret Wars is literally teleport this part of the world to this place,
hmm
right? So it's already a thing of, oh, It's introducing you to ideas. There are things that probably took place in this film that even the combined minds of myself and Saj, who've been reading comics for 30 years, can't can't be like, oh yeah, there are things that we probably missed.
Yeah.
So there's no way in hell that, and I'm like Kevin Feige, and I think what people forget, Kevin Feige did not start out as this absolute lover of comic books.
Ooh.
He was a lover of storytelling,
Hmm.
right? He was a lover of stories and good stories and science fiction, things like that. And through working with um with the Donners, he became a comic book fan.
Mm.
And whilst there is a great honor and prestige in being a lifelong fan of something and then working with that thing, innovation rarely comes from old age. It rarely comes from a place of, I've always been into this, so I'm here. It genuinely, sometimes it needs to come from the person who, you know what, I didn't grow up with this.
Mm.
So I see everything and I acknowledge and respect everything, but I see places for change.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So,
Look, I think this movie for me. It's set up great for what's to come. I mean, we're
mhm.
now not going to get a Marvel movie till 2026. A movie. That's it. We're done for movies for 2025. No
Yeah,
more Marvel movies. We're going to get, like you said, Neil, the
there's
Black Panther,
Wakanda, and I think
there's
Wonder Man. I think
Wonder
Wakanda,
Man.
Rise
Yeah,
of Wakanda and Wonder Man are the last
I think
two
that's it.
offerings this
Yeah,
year.
and then we're not. That's it. We're done till Spider Man, and then
Mhm.
obviously Doomsday comes out. But boys,
When's
it's been
Wakanda out?
soon. Neil
Say
just
again?
said
When's the Wakanda's TV
I
show
think
out?
it's like the 1st of August.
Oh,
this
okay.
Friday.
So yeah, it's like Friday or something.
Yeah, we're
But the thing
seeing.
is, do you know what? I I so appreciate the fact that there isn't another Marvel film until next year
Mm,
because now I have anticipation.
mm. Oh, that's gonna
Like,
that'll blow box office records when that comes
yeah,
out.
now I have, I mean, like today, off topic, but today I saw the trailer for Avatar 3.
I saw that when I went to see Fantastic
Yeah.
Four. They had that trailer on.
But yes, the cinema I went in, they didn't show that. But it's that simple thing there of it's like, okay, we give you this hit and then we'll disappear for a while.
And then we're gonna slowly
And then,
rebuild.
and then we come back and we come back because now you miss us because we're not here. And that's what I think that's what Marvel needs to reaffirm, to reestablish, right? You think phase one, we had the first two MCU films were 2 months apart,
And they've done that a lot
right?
throughout the
Yeah,
phases.
they were 2 months apart, and it was literally it was May and then it was June. And then the following year it was May, and then I think it was like
July, August.
July, August time.
Mm,
And then it was like, okay, then it was like May's and November, and it was May, November, May,
mm,
November, or May, October, May, October. And it was always
yeah,
that hit, 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 hit.
they always done two a year.
Yeah. And then it exploded, and then it was like February, May, June,
Mm.
August. And I'm like, this is
And
a
then you
lot.
started throwing in TV spin-offs, and you had to watch One
Yeah.
Division and then you had to watch, I don't know, the Falcon Winter Soldier because that followed on from Endgame, and you were like
Yeah.
fucking etc. etc. So yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
look, the future is incredibly bright for
Yes.
Marvel. I'm looking forward to the Black Panther spin-off. Going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. But look, I'm glad you boys enjoyed it. I know how much this movie meant to you,
I have one
Absolutely.
fellas.
complaint.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what was your one? Oh yeah, let's do your complaints, boys, before we get out of here because I've literally got about 3 minutes. What was your one complaint each? Go on, Sash. You can go first. Why are
Pablo,
you having a shave on the
Shave.
podcast?
That's his complaint.
That's your complaint. Ah, the
Pablo
moustache.
Pascal,
That's his
shave the
complaint.
Pascal.
trench next
I
time.
saw what you
You're
done
I
there.
will, you know
top,
what? I
bruh.
will say one thing, right?
We know you're Pablo Pascal, but I want my Reed Richards
Mm.
I didn't
with
mind
the
the
I will
tassel.
moustache,
say
you
one
know.
thing, right?
Come on, bruh.
When I was watching the movie, and maybe it was I was awestruck by the fact it's a beautiful and correct and accurate Fantastic Four, but there were times where I had to remind myself that he hadn't shaved.
Boys. Fucking
There were times where I had to remind myself that he hadn't shaved because I was watching the film and I was like, has he shaved? Did he
Mm.
shave halfway through this film? Right? There were moments where because it wasn't big, thick, bushy, it wasn't a Howard Stark big, thick joint. It was
It
thin,
was
kind of
full. It was
pencily.
Reynolds. It was
But
a
I was
Reynolds,
like,
bro.
yeah, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I can look past this. I can look beyond this because I'm forgetting that you haven't shaved.
Mm.
So I was like, that I get. My my one issue was when we first see Franklin born, and the first thing you see is his hand.
It's massive.
That was some hella ropey CGI.
His hand was fucking huge, by the
Hey,
way.
that was not a newborn baby. Listen, I have been around newborn babies. That is not a newborn baby's hand. That is I'm ready to pay taxes hand,
Yeah, I thought it was like the fucking. It
right?
was like the Adams Family. I thought the thing had
That
been.
was thing, yeah, right. But I have to admit that I have to look beyond it because I was like, you know what, on that set piece where they're on wires because they're supposed to be in zero gravity, you could never put a baby in there. So I was like, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
no,
can I
it was
can
good.
I can look beyond it. But that was my only like, oh,
Mm,
I can't defend this.
yeah, I like the way that they introduced you to his powers at the end with him saving
Hmm.
his mum, and a lot of people in the cinema. I can see. I'm looking to my right, and I'm looking around. I can see people like looking confused. Like, did the baby just save the woman? I'm like, even I know
Yeah,
who this
because it was
baby is.
the color palette of the film
Hmm.
meant that when he was doing it, unless you were really looking closely,
You wouldn't know.
you could miss the fact that his hands were glowing.
Yep. Yep. I thought it was genius the way they done that. When
Mm.
looking back at, I'm like I said, I'm going to go and see this movie again. I didn't enjoy it as much as Superman. I'm going to say that
Mhm.
now. And
Fair
yes,
enough.
I can see the WhatsApp group pinging while they're watching this, going, fuck off, Burrows, you idiot. I preferred Superman to this. But in saying that, I really, really did enjoy this movie
Hmm.
visually. The soundtrack again.
Hmm.
Anyone that's seen this, make sure if you haven't seen it in IMAX, go and see it in IMAX. Go and see it in Cineworld. Go and see it on the super screen.
Yeah.
Do something where you will visually see Galactus stand up from his motherfucking chair. Because visually, I reckon that's some of the best work Marvel have ever done. Not just in
Hmm.
the last X amount of years. I think it's some of the best work that Marvel have ever
It's
done.
done well at the box
Actually,
office.
I will point out one thing. Very, very tiny, tiny, very small thing. The Galactus I know and love has square retinas.
And this one was long.
So that's one thing that
Wow.
I'm like,
See now when it.
However, it has been a very long time since I've actually sat down and opened and read like Jack Kirby Stanley Fantastic Four comics. So I'm like, you know what?
Let
Maybe he
them off.
probably doesn't have square retinas.
Yeah, we can let them off. We can let them
Yeah.
off. Boys, it's been a pleasure to sit down and review this with you. We'll
Hmm.
be back. We've got a lot coming up. We've got back with
Yes.
Marvelous Monday next week.
Hmm.
Neil, you and I are sitting down with a certain D1 this time next week. D1 Dudley.
Yes.
You and I will be talking some WWE with D1
Hmm.
Dudley this time next week, and then that will be out later in the week. Off to see Naked Gun at some stage in the next week, I believe that comes out. We will be sitting down and talking about that.
Yeah.
We've got some hot takes Friday that are
Question:
going to
Do I
be
need to
dropping.
watch the other Naked Guns to watch this? Because I have
You
not
know
seen it.
what? What?
I've never
No,
seen
you
it.
don't need to, but I highly recommend them.
All right, cool. I
Like
I
you
will
are
check them out.
belly laughing. I swear to God, if you come back and tell me you didn't like these movies, it's going to be a bit like when I text you originally in the WhatsApp group saying I gave Fantastic Four 4 out of 10. Because
Well, the thing is,
Sash, how good are the Naked Gun movies, bro?
They're fantastic.
all right.
They're
The thing
fantastic.
is, the only issue I have with it is I
They're on Paramount Plus.
personally,
They're on Sky.
just personally, I never grew up with Leslie Nielsen as like
Have you
a
seen Airplane?
comedian. No, but no. Sasha will explain to you there are reasons I have not seen Aeroplane.
I've gone.
Yeah.
I'm done.
There is a
I nearly put the
there's a
sleeping bag on my head.
definitive reason why I've never seen Aeroplane, and
I
it,
love. I'm.
it's a
You've
very
seen you've seen Spaceballs though, right? And Hot
yes, I've
Shots.
seen Spaceballs.
Don't tell me you don't like flying because you've watched
What
Die Hard.
what about Hot Shots?
I have watched Hot Shots, but the thing
Hot,
is,
Hot
Hot
Shots
Shots
Dieu is the
is
best one.
with Hot Shots.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a passenger plane. And yes, you are right. I have seen Die Hard, but I've seen Die Hard 2 twice. And that's it. Once as a child,
What?
before I'd ever gotten on a plane, and once as an adult, having gotten on a plane.
You've seen Die Hard 2 twice in your life.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That I did not
That's
know.
a bit like Sash saying to me, I've only seen Return of the Jedi once.
No, because the thing is, I have a fear of flying, and this fear is intense enough that if a film involves a passenger plane and something bad happening to it, I would rather just not watch it.
Do you watch Snakes on a Plane?
No.
The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but it's not a passenger plane. It's a military plane.
Yeah,
If it's a
okay.
passenger
that
plane.
was still some scary shit. But
Yeah, there was some
Yeah.
scary shit, but it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's a
Okay.
passenger plane, so like
Yeah.
But yeah, go and watch the original Naked Guns. They are. I'm going to do it. I think they're on Paramount Plus. I know, I'm
Yeah.
sure they're on
I believe
Paramount
they
Plus.
are.
All of them are on Paramount Plus.
So yeah, Neil,
Mhm.
if you liked Hot Shots,
which I did.
yeah, this is both Aeroplane and The Naked Gun are made by the same people.
And
The
then
same
there's
director.
Hot Shots Part 2 as well. There's 2 Hot Shots movies.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
So yeah, so basically Leslie Nielsen's in all of them because
Right.
like yeah, he's in Airplane as the Doctor. Fun
Slapstick
enough, speaking of
comedy.
Airplane, I've never seen Airplane 2.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never seen the second one. Never seen the second one.
Go
They
and
never
watch
had
it.
it at my video shop, innit?
Blockbusters
Fair enough.
didn't have it, yeah.
I've actually not seen Top Secret. The OG one. You seen Top Secret?
Yeah, I have seen.
The Val Kilmer
yeah, I've
one.
never seen that.
It's on. I
Is that-
think that is on
is that-
their Paramount Plus as well. You know.
Is that the Val
is it?
Kilmer one?
Yeah,
It's
that's the
somewhere.
Val
I've
Kilmer
seen it
one.
somewhere. It might be YouTube actually, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to be back talking some WWE with D1 Dudley. We've got
Yes.
Naked Gun to review. Marvelous Monday will return soon. We are up to Captain America: The
Winter
Winter Soldier, which is it's in my top 3 of all-time Marvel cinematic viewing experience. It introduced more characters than you can shake a stick at. For me, that was the point where I was like, I fucking love this franchise. It's absolutely incredible. I rewatched the movie again recently, but we're back with Marvelous Monday. Like I say, Naked Gun. We've got all sorts coming up. Follow us on YouTube. Completed It Podcast is where you can find us. You can find us on X at Completed It Pod. But we'll be back in the coming days and weeks with loads more content. But boys, I'm glad you enjoyed your Fantastic Four. Like I say, I knew this was your Superman.
Yes.
It wasn't as good as Superman. But
I heard that.
we'll be back in the coming weeks and days. But till next time, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I've been your host, Andy Burrows. Till next time, stay safe.
Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of daily life? Struggling with anxiety, stress, depression, phobias, fears, or just trying to get yourself back again? Discover the transformative power of focused solution hypnotherapy and counseling. Through guided hypnotherapy, relaxation trance allows your subconscious mind to access your inner resources and strengths you didn't know you had. Book your free consultation today and let's start your journey together. For more information, please email Sharon at scm-therapy.me